Good morning. Great morning. Fantastic, marvelous morning. Why? Because we were chosen to rise this morning. Therefore, join me. Rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, soldiers of the Lord. You want some more energy? Arise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, soldiers of the Lord. He chose you this morning and he chose me this morning to rise. One more day that we will never, ever, ever see again. Therefore, we should give him the honor, the praise, the glory, the hallelujah, the worship, and most importantly, the acknowledgement. Because we are now at this moment breathing in his love and exhaling his love. We are his children. We are here by his grace and his mercy this day because he chose others not to rise. And therefore, because we are chosen, we need to give him all the glory and ask him, what can I do for you today to help our fellow human beings? And so y'all know who I am, right? Once I acknowledge him, I can acknowledge myself. My name is Edwina B., known as Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, as you can see. If you need to know why, then go back over the last 3 years and see my podcast of the different masks I wear to demonstrate that it's not about the mask, it's about the spirit within this vessel. And so I'm here to share with you the Free to Hope platform. From recovery, emerge enlightened and empowered to give hope to others, help others prosper equally. I am a transformational speaker. I am a spiritual coach and consultant. I am a humble servant who believes in continuing the journey to total transparency and authenticity. Why? Because I was delivered from underneath a parked car 33 plus years ago in the streets of Philadelphia, 3 o'clock in the morning, suffering from co-occurring disorders. At that time, I was getting high and doing all kind of sexual favors with my own stepson. Yes, so you know something was deadly wrong. But by the grace of God, he chose me to live, and I will be sharing my story with you again and again and again because I need to be reminded who I am and whose I am. And what helped me be reminded? By being set on the pathway to spiritual recovery, being introduced to a 12-step spiritual program offering awakenings, experiences, and transformation to achieve a psychic change. As a result of 33 plus years being in a 12-step fellowship that's spiritual in nature, I'm surrounded by people like me who thought something was wrong with them. But through the spiritual principles and now the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family, and most recently the Transformational teachings by Dr. Sonja, we found out what happened to us. Therefore, using all of those spiritual tools, we can practice being on the journey to total transparency and authenticity. Once we remove the physical mask, I remove the mask, we remove the mask that's internal, covering up all those secrets that we've been trying to conceal all our lives that need to be revealed in order for us to heal mind, body, and soul. It's ironic because the topic for AA's Daily Reflection is healing heart, and mind. Okay? So if you need a speaker, call me. If you need a spiritual coach or consultant, call me. But don't call me if you don't want a person who is authentic and transparent. Someone did that for me, and she set me free, and I want to do it to others just to set one more free. All right? And so now you see that I'm on a different time, and I wanted to try some things differently with this platform because I've been given an assignment to complete one particular assignment, and that is my dissertation, obtaining my doctorate degree in biblical studies just to learn more about the God who met me, delivered me, and prepared me from underneath that parked car to be sitting here before you. And it's been 7 years, and I need to complete it. 7 is the year of completion or the number of completion, and I'm going to do it. Also, I've been challenged and charged by Dr. Sonja to write my continuation of my first book. This is my first book as it was written. And as you can see here, I am underneath that parked car. And it says here a 4-year journal entries of a person in recovery. Recovering from drugs, alcohol, mental illness, crime, prostitution. I even committed murder. I had an abortion as a prostitute, and I believe that is murder. Homeless, right? And on the back, you could see that I had dreams of being in high school. I had a 14-year addiction. And the last picture is when I graduated with my master's degree in human services from Lincoln University, specializing in employee assistance program, helping to uh, aid people with co-occurring disorders keep their jobs. Okay, and so I want to continue this because this would be the book that I'm writing now is my third book, but it's the continuation of this book because people wanted to know why are you underneath the car. People want to know what happened. People wanted to know what we need more. And so thanks to Dr. Sonja who put the fire underneath my feet, I am in the process of writing my continuation of my first book, which is why I wanted to juggle my time around because I'm a morning person. Let's listen, I'm authentic and I'm transparent. I get more done early in the morning. I'm just a morning person. And guess where that came from? From being in rehab, right? And you had to get up early to be the first in line to wash your clothes, take a shower and all that. So ever since then, I get up early in the morning. I do my meditation. I set up my podcast. I plan out my day. But most importantly, I recognize I have more energy in the morning. So if I'm going to dedicate and complete my assignments, it need to be done during the early morning, like from 4 to 7 a.m. Because at 7:30 a.m., I go to my AA meeting 33 plus years later. Yes, I still make my meetings. Why? Because 1 hour gives me everything I need to live the other 23 hours happy, joyous, and free. Donald Lawrence says we are not natural beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings living and walking this journey on earth called life. And so by me making my spiritual appointments every day, I hear what I need to hear. I read what I need to read. I share with other people in this recovery process, and we stay sober and help each other achieve sobriety. God's gift to us was sobriety. Our gift back to him is to stay sober and help somebody else. Okay? All right. So that's why I'm changing now to 9 to 9:30. Okay, a.m. Then I was thinking, and y'all can help me out with this. I was thinking that I accept the fact that I can't get everybody right, and whoever needs to see it will see it. But I'm also interested in getting the fullest population to view, right? So then I was thinking maybe I should have it from 7 to 7:30 in the evening. And that way I would share with you that daily reflection of that day and how I was able to navigate through the day using what they suggested, and then share with you the last 15 hours of the half hour, the next day's daily journal in preparation to be prepared for the following day. So well, maybe I may do both. I don't know, but in the evenings I go to bed 8 o'clock, and so my energy is not as high as it is right now, right? But it depends because the spirit can take over and do its thing. So bear with me, but the information is still the same. I'm still the same. And I love the fact that y'all accept me for who I am, Miss Cougar for Cocoa Pops. I am wearing my crown. I'm accentuating my heritage, my culture, my traditions by putting on just a little bit, right? And but most of the time, I am basically uh appearing to you just as I am. And so, because of that, I've learned to remove the mask and practice keeping the mask off. Okay. All right. So, that's enough of that. So, let me go to our topic today and share with you, what it says. Now, I have already been to my AA meeting, even though it was a big book meeting today. We didn't get to share on the reflection reading, but we did read it. All right. And so this is a good opportunity for me to dissect that baby with you. Okay, let me take a drink of my coffee this time. Usually it's ginger tea. Right? See how much energy I got? Could y'all imagine me on crack? Oh, Lord. Thank God for deliverance. All right, so open up your spiritual eyes, open up your spiritual ears, and let's read this together, and then we're going to dissect it, okay? All right, here we go. Let's move this out the way, and let's bring this forward, okay? All right. So it says here, May the 1st. Wait a minute now. Okay, here it is. Okay, thank you. Okay. I was getting kind of confused. So we extracted a quote from page 55 of the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 55. The person in recovery shares his perspective. Since it is true that God comes to me through people, I can see that by keeping people at a distance, I also keep God at a distance. God is nearer to me than I think, and I can experience him by loving people and allowing people to love me. But I can neither love nor be loved if I allow my secrets to get in the way. It's the side of myself that I refuse to look at that rules me. I must be willing to look at the dark side in order to heal my mind and heart, because that is the road to freedom. I must walk into darkness to find the light and walk into fear to find peace. By revealing my secrets and thereby ridding myself of guilt, I can actually change my thinking. By altering my thinking, I can change myself. My thoughts create my future. What I will be tomorrow is determined by what I think today. Oh boy, let's dissect this bad boy. Okay, so listen. Y'all know like I said, I'm Cougar for Cocoa Pops, and I'll be the first to admit it because it's just something about being free. Free to be you, free to be me. And it's amazing. The God who created us all and everything that's here and out there, it was created by him, whoever you choose to call him. And so the Ruiz family talked about it in their book, The 5 Agreements, about the domestication process and how we were conditioned, like we were people domesticate animals. Rewards and punishment, right? The same analogies apply to people, right? And so by incorporating the 12 agreements in my life and learning through the fourth step, my attitudes, ideas, behaviors, belief system, and how they were formulated, which perpetuated themselves into my life. Even as of today, I had to be honest. Yes. And so on that day, February the 22nd of 1990, underneath that parked car, I only weighed 90 pounds. Face was all sunken in, dark circles around my eyes. I only had a few teeth. These are dentures, and I take them out, right? I ain't gonna take them out now, but I take them out. My hair was short and matted. So the mask was gone. All that was left was the vessel, because I was spiritually empty. I was done. Yes, the flashbacks of how I got underneath that parked car just like amazed me. Edwina, dogs and cats get under cars, not human beings. You was the class vice president, co-captain of the cheerleader team. You wanted to be a model, an actress, a phys ed teacher. You were voted 1-2 most likely to succeed. Your parents deemed you the smartest of the 6 kids. What's wrong with you? Why are you underneath a parked car? At the age of 23 as a prostitute, alongside my co-occurring disorders of mental illness and chemical dependency, I got pregnant and I chose to have an abortion. And I said I would never do that. Once that procedure was done, I said, whatever happens to me, I deserve. So yes, the rapes, the beat-ups, the setup, robbing dead bodies, stepping over dead bodies, attempted suicide, setting people up, being set up, robbing people, yes. Climbing in and out of windows, climbing in and out of cars, turning tricks. Well, somewhere deep inside of me came these words: whoever they say you are, take me out this life now, and show me a better way. And he chose me to live and prepared me to be sitting before you right now, sharing what I'm sharing, as honest and as open as I possibly can. Because I've been set free and I want to set you free, or show you the pathway to freedom. And this 5th step is the 5th step in the 12-step program. We admit it to God, who already knows everything, to ourselves, we know, and to another human being, how to get to the exact nature of our wrongs, our character defects. That's why I'm in love with this journey. So let's dissect this baby, okay? All right, so now the first thing, like I said, this is the 5th step. Admit it to God, to ourselves, and to another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. So let me give you an example. So in our 4th step, what we did was we went back as far as we could in our history to find out where those patterns, attitudes, ideas, and behaviors were first formulated, by whom, what situation, and what circumstances. So let me give you a real example, okay? Now, let's say I've been a liar. I'm still a liar to some degree, truth be told. But I picked up lying as a child. Yeah. Because of the domestication process, when I did tell the truth, somebody got hurt. I got hurt. But when I lied, nobody got hurt. I didn't get hurt. What's that about? I learned how to steal as a child. I saw my dad steal something. My mom said, Eddie, don't do that. My dad reply was, oh, they're not going to miss it. Guess what? I started stealing because they're not going to miss it. I became jealous and lustful, right? Towards the opposite sex. Why? Because the first man I was attracted to was my daddy. Truth be told. And I was jealous and envious of my mother and the other siblings who was trying to get my dad's attention. Oh, hell no, that's my daddy. I don't care if he's your husband or not. That's my daddy. So whatever she did to get his attention, I did too. And so when we go back in our 4th step inventory, we learn where those attitudes, ideas, belief systems, right? Our thinking, our behaviors were first formulated. And so when we do that and we do our 5th step, A person in recovery helps us to get to the exact nature of those character defects, which is nothing more than natural God-given instincts that have far exceeded their purpose. And so getting to the exact nature, right, helps us to be set free. And so the fifth step is like emptying out a garbage can that has some good and some bad stuff in it. But the whole idea is to present yourself, myself, like an onion. When we have that knee bowing experience, yes, and every knee shall bow and every mouth will confess that he is. Yes. And so that's what that fifth step is, all right? And when I did my fifth step, the second time, I got some freedom, right? And still am. All right. So now let's see what the person in recovery says, right? He says, since it is true that God comes to me through people, I can see that by keeping people at a distance, I also keep God at a distance. Now, who said it was true that God comes through people? Do you believe it? Obviously, right? Is it God? It ain't you, it ain't me, right? So our creator, if you choose, right? This whole process of life on this earthly journey, we have about 5 billion people on this earth. That's a lot of human beings, right? A lot of people, right? And so when we come to some type of realization, because instinctively it's within us, but there's something about wearing that fog or being in a fog or wearing that mask that we really don't see, as talked about by the Ruiz family, okay? And so it says here, right? Since it is true, and it is, that God comes to me through people, I can see that by keeping people at a distance, I also keep God at a distance. Never understood that, never knew nothing about that, nothing, none of that, no, okay? So I'm going through life doing what I see other people do. I'm going through life wearing different masks for everything and everybody. I'm going through life pretending to be somebody I'm not, okay? And so guess what? I'm using those people, right? Those people are using me. So where's God in all this? Interesting, right? Now, if I'm honest, there are some good virtues about me that I learned, right, from other people. And there are some bad character defects that I learned, right? And so the point is, we learn from each other. And so in this process of recovery, I now know that without knowing, I was being impacted and I impacted others with our train of thought that needed to be evaluated, needed to be unlearned in order for us to learn the true spiritual meaning of life. And so now I recognize and understand what he is saying, right? I keep God at a distance. God is nearer to me than I think, and I can experience him by loving people and allowing people to love me. Do you know what love is? I know what it is now, but I didn't before. I knew my mother loved us. I know, in my dad's way, he loved us, right? But it was based on how they were loved and how they were shown or not showing love, that they passed it on to us, right? So as children, I'm just going to say it, we are some confused children. Oh my God, confusion. Think about it, confusion. Confusion. 1 minute we're happy and lucky, next minute we crying. Which way? What? What is it all about? We're confused. Do as I say, not as I do. Well, what you doing looks fun to me. Why can't I do what you do? Why don't you listen to yourself? Confusion. That's what the fifth step helps us with, right? And so he recognizes too that as long as, we have this idea of love, it's based on our own reality at that time. And so what I thought was love in my family was different from what I thought was love from my peers. Yeah, my family called themselves giving me tough love, and I ain't like that. My peers, look, supported me, encouraged me. I did the same thing for them. Oh yeah, and when I fell in love at 12 years old, when I fell in love at 12 years old, yes, I did. Yes, I did, because I was introduced to a whole lot of things before I was 12, if you know what I mean. And so that puppy dog love or that fantasy and all that kind of stuff, right? Love. So people, we as human beings have been our mirrors, right? Sometimes the mirrors are cracked, sometimes they broken, sometimes they smudgy, sometimes they what? Missing pieces. I tell you, I'm cooking for Cocoa Pops, okay? All right, so let's continue. I got 4 more minutes. Then he says here, but I can neither love nor be loved if I allow my secrets to get in the way. My family kept a horrible secret about one of my siblings that we found out was not my father's child. And the family secret, unknowingly to us, was being perpetuated to the detriment of my sister and also those who knew. It's something about secrets that keep us sick. And that's why I've been set free and can tell you I have no secrets. But it was through the recovery process in this 12-step spiritual program that I revealed what I was trying to conceal in order for me to heal. And my sister did that at a later age in her life. After going through all of that, she revealed what she was trying to conceal, but she wasn't healing. But she began to heal after revealing what she tried to conceal. You got me? All right, I ain't got but a few more minutes. I'll get into that another. You know, she's in heaven now, and then she's definitely free. Okay. And so he also says, right, it's the side of myself that I refuse to look at that rules me. Okay. So you know that movie, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which side rules you? You use both of them when it's convenient, right? Or you use both of them when it's necessary, right? Or you use both of them depending upon the situation. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But then there's that side that you think nobody knows, but you know. And it's something about keeping secrets that really keep us sick. I never knew that. No, underneath that park car, listen. Whatever it is, here it is. Whatever it is, here it is. Set me free. I don't want to live like this one more second. No. Hell no. Yes. So, what part of you are you keeping secret that rules you? All right, 2 more minutes. He says, I must be willing to look at the dark side in order to heal my mind and heart, because that is the road to freedom. Now, I can't say it more simply than that. Do you know how many of us in recovery have been set free and stay on the path to freedom? Stay on the path to continue transparency and authenticity, because we know what secrets did to us and other people. So after setting ourselves free without intentionally harming anybody else, we in our process begin to make amends to ourselves and to others in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay? And so that's what I know to be the truth of coming out the darkness into the light, which has given people like me the pathway to spiritual freedom. It's a difference. Spiritual freedom. Okay? Oh man, it's 9:30. All right. So then he says here, I must walk into the darkness to find the light and walk into fear to find the peace. You know what the acronym for fear used to be for us? F everything and run. Forget everything and run. Uck everything and run. That's what we used to say. Uck everything and run. But in recovery, learn to face everything and recover. Face everything and rejuvenate. Face everything and be restored. Face everything and be responsible. Face your fears, because it will lead you to peace. All right, I gotta go. All right, and then he says here, by revealing my secrets and thereby ridding myself of guilt, I can actually change my thinking. By altering my thinking, I can change myself. My thoughts create my future. What I will be tomorrow is determined what I think today. What do y'all think I'm thinking? Meditating every morning. Being utilized, molded, and shaped for things yet to come by the God I now know, who I found in this 12-step spiritual program. Now incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family and the transformational teaching by Dr. Sonja. What do you think I'm thinking about today? The fact that I'm sitting in front of you shows you what I'm thinking. Yes, I am going to stay sober, and I want to help somebody else achieve sobriety. Our literature says all human beings are ill to some extent. If I can help just say just one more, like somebody did for me, and introduce me to this program, is only by God's grace and his mercy. We are chosen, and I know it. So my thinking is going to be on him and what I can do for him while on this earthly journey. Even as I fall, trip, and stumble forward, I'm not going back. I'm only going back to help somebody come up and walk this journey of freedom together. If it's God's will, we'll be reunited tomorrow. I'll be here, and I hope you will be too. Be blessed.